Episode 15, From Childhood Trees to Our Family Christmas. It's December of 1994 and I'm standing in the front yard with my dad. The driveway of the house I grew up in was lined with tall, skinny trees that looked a little like Christmas trees. Recently I went down a small rabbit hole trying to figure out what they were called, and eventually I worked out that the species was called Oriental arborvitae. I'm sure no one really cares what the tree was called, but I do, because I haven't seen one since the early 90s, and seeing a photo of it again brought back a rush of memories. I'll pop a photo up in my blog for anyone who's interested. The trees lined our driveway for as long as I can remember. One Christmas, my dad decided to cut one down so that we could have a Christmas tree inside the house. He chopped off the top half, filled a pot with soil, and placed the tree inside our home. At the time, I remember being so excited. We were finally going to have a Christmas tree. Looking back now, it makes me feel a little emotional. That's the thing about growing up with immigrant parents in a Western country, or at least my parents. They didn't really say much and they didn't show affection, but boy did they try, in these small, meaningful gestures to make sure we didn't miss out. Whether it was my mum going to Lincraft to buy fabric to sew me a costume for the school parade, or my dad cutting down a tree so we could celebrate Christmas, they really did try. The next day, while my brother was at school, my dad and I went to the shops. While we were there, he walked into Big W, and I followed him through the aisles until we reached the toy section. I asked him what we were looking for. "Don't worry," he said. He picked out a 2-player handheld soccer game and a mermaid toy. He paid, walked back to the car, and loaded them into the boot. As he did, I started wondering if they were for us. "Don't tell your brother," he said. I nodded. Christmas Day arrived and my brother and I woke up buzzing with excitement. Under the tree were 2 wrapped presents. We tore into them and found the toys my dad had bought. I held my mermaid doll in my hand, completely overwhelmed with happiness. The rest of the morning my brother and I played the soccer game together. It's still one of the most special Christmases I can remember. I mentioned in my first episode that I always dreamed of having a family one day with 2 kids. Part of that dream was imagining how we'd celebrate Christmas. Growing up, my brother and I watched Home Alone 1, 2, and 3 every December, over and over again. They were my favourite holiday movies. Watching Kevin's big, chaotic family Christmas, I knew I wanted to recreate that kind of magic when I became a mum. Years later, when I moved to Brisbane, we visited one of my husband's friends during the holidays. I remember standing in front of their Christmas tree and thinking how beautiful it was. Nothing matched. Everything was slightly mismatched, layered, and imperfect. I pointed at a few decorations to his mum and asked her about them. Each one had a story, some made by the kids when they were younger, some from holidays, and some given as gifts. I decided then that when I had my own family, that's the kind of Christmas tree I wanted, mismatched and covered in memories. When Vishnu and I got engaged and moved into our first home, we bought our first Christmas tree. I started with a few decorations I loved, adding a couple more each year. Each time we go overseas, I also buy an ornament from there. Since the girls have come along, since Sachi started kindy and now school, our tree looks completely different. It's now covered in handmade ornaments, school crafts, and the ornaments I had picked out over the years. Absolutely chaotic, and I love it. On a side note, if you're into unique ornaments, I'm listing a few of my favourite places to buy them. My number one would be Bed Bath & Table, especially after Christmas when everything goes on sale. TK Maxx, hands down some of the most beautiful Christmas decorations I've ever seen. And then finally David Jones, Meyer, and Adeas as well. As an adult, my favourite Christmas movie is The Holiday. I've probably watched it at least 10 times. I also love rewatching Christmas episodes of Will and Grace, one of my favourite sitcoms. If you're into rom-coms like I am and you haven't seen The Holiday, I highly recommend it. It features a star-studded cast of Jude Law, Cameron Diaz, Kate Winslet, and Jack Black. The story follows 2 women in different countries who swap homes to escape their respective relationship messes. When they're away, they each meet someone unexpected and I'll stop there so I don't ruin it. I'm really looking forward to the day the girls are old enough to watch Home Alone, so I can recreate Kevin's Plaza Hotel ice cream sundae. But for now, Serene's favourite Christmas movie is The Grinch. Don't ask me why, because I honestly don't know. It is the only movie she watches, and she's seen the Grinch waking up scene more than 50 times. As I sit here now reflecting on that childhood tree my dad cut down, and those presents 30 years later, I realise how much those small moments stayed with me, and how much life is built from gestures that might seem small at the time. Last year I took Sachi to one of those public phone booths that let kids call Santa, and she absolutely loved it. This year Serene joined in too, and it was such a sweet moment. If you have one near you, I highly recommend it for next year, and even the adults might enjoy it too. I'm not sure how I'll recreate the memory of my dad cutting down that tree in the front yard, but I hope that over the years I'll continue creating small, personal moments that my girls will carry with them, just like I did. I struggled to choose a serenade for this episode because I have so many favourites for Christmas. I finally decided on Warm December by Sabrina Claudio, and I had to also include Christmas Eve by Justin Bieber, because I'm a believer. Hope you all had an amazing Christmas, and thank you for joining me.